Welcome, students. Now we are going to discuss the poem A Legend of Northland by Phoebe Carey. In the previous stanzas, we have discussed that there was a monk, Saint Peter, who was the part of this world, who gave religious teachings. He wandered from one place to another place in the world. In the meantime, he reached at the door of greedy women. Saint Peter was fasting, so he was weak. He asked for a cake. Greedy women started making cake several times. Every time she found that the cake was too big to give away. In other words, we can say the greedy women thought that cake is too big to give to Saint Peter. At this point, Peter became angry and cursed her and changed her into woodpecker. Now come to stanza 15. In the stanza 15 you will find that how greedy woman looked like when she changed into woodpecker. She had a scarlet cap on her head. Scarlet, you understand, brilliant red color. You see in the figure you can see. In the figure you can see she had a scarlet cap on her head. Scarlet means brilliant red color, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame. So it happened when Saint Peter cursed greedy women for her greed. Stanza 16 you see, and every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Remember, this was the curse given by Saint Peter to the greedy women who didn't give a small piece of cake to Saint Peter. Saint Peter believed that these greedy women should not possess the human form. She should not enjoy food. She should not enjoy warmth. Okay, that's why she was cursed by Saint Peter. And a schoolboy, country schoolboy, can see her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day. Till this very day means from that day when she was cursed by Saint Peter, what she was doing? She was boring and boring for food. So it happened. This is the whole story, okay, of this poem, Legend of Northland. In the previous stanzas, we have discussed, or you can say in the introduction of this poem, we have discussed that basically it is a ballad. Ballad is a song. It contains a story. It has a moral lesson. Okay. So here is this poem we have discussed. So lesson of this poem is that we should not be greedy. We should not live for ourselves only. We should live for others also. That was the lesson of this poem. Now we proceed to literary devices in the poem or figure of speech used in this poem. We will see literary devices in the poem, you can say poetic devices in the poem or figure of speech used in this poem. So first we will see the rhyme scheme of the poem. One thing remember that the whole poem is divided into 16 stanza, or you can say the poem contains 16 stanzas, and rhyming scheme is ABCB. That is the rhyme scheme of the poem. Remember, question may be asked, what is the rhyme scheme of the poem? That is ABCB. Second, you see alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound in two or more close words. That is the simple definition of alliteration. Repetition of a consonant sound in two or more close words. First, in the first stanza, alliteration is present in the line that, they, them, through. Th sound is repeating. They, the, look like. L sound is repeating. Funny, furry. F sound is repeating. So here in these lines, alliteration is present. In stanza third, you see they, them. Th sound is repeating. Yet you, Y sound is repeating. Learn, listen, L sound is repeating. Tell, to, T sound is repeating. So again here alliteration is present. Again in the further stanza number 5, you find women, was, W sound is repeating. Them, the, hearth, T sound is repeating. Stanza 6, you can see that is faint, fasting. Then still smaller, S sound is repeating. Took, tiny. Okay, T sound is repeating. Seem, small, S sound is repeating. In stanza 13, you see build, birds, B sound is repeating. By, boring, again B sound is repeating. So here you can see alliteration is present in a maximum stanzas. Now next we will see simile is present in several stanzas also. Comparison using as or like. This is the very simple way of identifying simile in the given lines. These two terms are used, as or like. See in stanza number 2, children look like bears' cubs. There is a figure of speech, that is simile. Here children compared to bears' cubs. Okay, children compared to bears' cubs. Again stanza number 9, you see bake it thin as a wafer. Here case is compared to a wafer. Okay, that's why here comparison is made. That's why here figure of speech is simile. Again you see term as or like is used. The children look like bears' cubs. Okay, now in stanza 15, you see cloths were burned black as a coal. Okay, in the last line you can also see that the color of the burned cloth is compared to that of a coal. So here you see that figure of speech simile is also present in several stanzas. In stanza number 2, the children look like bears' cubs. Stanza 9, baked it thin as a wafer. Stanza number 15, cloths were burned black as a coal. So here you see simile is present. Clear? सो दैट इज़ ऑल इन दिस पोएम वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. तो इस पोएम में हमने देखा कि लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस कौन कौन सी ज़्यादा उपयोग हुई हैं, जिसमें कि एलिट्रेशन है और सिमली है. और राइमिंग स्कीम की हम बात करें तो इसमें आता है क्या है, ए बी सी बी. कि ए बी सी बी इज़ द राइम स्कीम ऑफ दिस पोएम विच वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. दैट इज़ वेरी सिंपल पोएम. Basically it is a story which you remember in your mind, and if you narrate the whole poem in your own words, then you will easily remember the poem. And you must focus on the literary devices in the poem, because questions may be asked in your examination. So thank you.